My husband and his first love were getting intimate in the car when they suffered carbon monoxide poisoning. As a 60-year-old socialite who knows nothing about the world, I could only weep hysterically while calling my son for help. Trembling with fear and fragility, I choked out between sobs. "Sean, your father and Emily are dying from poisoning." Sean snapped impatiently before I could finish. "Mother, must you always create drama? I've told you Dad and Emily are just old friends. Emma's having chest pains. I don't have time for your hysterics." The line went dead before I could respond. Tears blurred my vision as I stared at the two unconscious naked bodies in the car. Sighing mournfully, I whispered, "Victor, if you die like this, how long will it take me to spend these billions?" I was only supposed to be looking for the kitten. Earlier in the underground garage, I'd noticed shadows moving in our new Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Gathering courage, I approached only to find my supposedly disciplined husband Victor entangled with Emily, his college sweetheart. Hot tears immediately spilled down my cheeks, my fragile heart shattering. Reflecting on my sheltered life, never experiencing hardship but perpetually wounded by love, I remembered being Shanghai's pampered heiress. Raised in luxury without lifting a finger. Married straight out of college to Victor through family arrangement. I hadn't known about his passionate campus romance until later. His parents had forced them apart when Emily's humble background became apparent. Though Victor found me frivolous, our bedroom chemistry contradicted his daytime disapproval. Our son Sean inherited his father's stern demeanor, constantly criticizing my useless bougie lifestyle since childhood. Dad admires career women, not shopaholic socialites like you, 7-year-old Sean once lectured. Yet I found contentment in my privilege. Whenever their criticism stung, I'd simply gaze at their handsome faces and check my bank balance. Instant therapy. To prove my capability, I donated $100 million to an Ivy League library for a curator position, diligently working until retirement while nurturing scholarship students who later joined Lewis Group. My idyllic life fractured 6 months ago when I discovered Victor's journals. His annual business trips were actually visits to Emily, now a worn-out housewife finding solace in her wealthy ex. The irony: while I funded future executives, my own family never saw my worth. Now, as the Rolls-Royce's oxygen-deprived lovers lay motionless, I numbly wondered if death might finally make Victor mine alone. We traveled around exploring scenic spots, traversing the vast landscapes of our homeland and taking countless photos. My heart shattered. Victor never once traveled with me, not even a honeymoon. Every time I begged him to go on a trip, he'd coldly transfer me $1 million, the company swamped. "I don't have time for this. Take the money and go alone." I'd wipe my tears and fly solo across the globe, watching penguins in Antarctica, chasing northern lights in Iceland, sunbathing in Hawaii, splurging at luxury boutiques. So many handsome guys hit on me during those trips. But I stayed loyal, merely admiring from afar. And what did my loyalty earn me? Victor's betrayal. Furious and heartbroken, I confronted him. Again. He transferred money with that icy tone: "Emily and I are just friends. Stop overreacting. Buy yourself some bags if you're bored." Even after buying the bags, I remained furious and complained to our son Sean. But instead of supporting me, he took his father's side. "It's normal for men to have close female friends these days. Mom, must you destroy our family's peace?" Dad introduced me to Aunt Emily when I was 8. "She's kind and virtuous. Not some homewrecker." The world crashed around me. Sean had known about Emily all along and helped hide it. I sobbed. "Haven't I been a good mother? When your kidneys failed, I risked my life to give you mine. How could you defend your father's mistress?" Sean's face darkened. "Are you guilt-tripping me about the kidney? Should I carve it out and return it? Give you back my whole life? Happy now?" After that fight, he grew colder. Heartbroken, I blocked his number. Remembering this, I collapsed into hysterical sobs. Half an hour later, I suddenly noticed something odd. Why was there absolute silence from Victor and Emily's direction? They're older. Sure. But wouldn't they at least stir after that? Peering through the car window, I saw their skin flushed cherry red, not post-passion glow, but clear carbon monoxide poisoning. Terrified, I unblocked Sean and called repeatedly. He ignored me until my stubborn streak kicked in, 30 relentless calls later. He finally answered, choking on tears. I pleaded, Sean, come quick. Your dad and Emily are dying. He cut me off. Voice seething, Mom. Stop this drama. I'm in a meeting. If they're dying, call 911. Stop bothering me. I wailed. But they're completely naked. They're over 100 combined, imagine the scandal. You're spreading vile rumors now? He roared before hanging up. He still didn't believe me. The injustice crushed me. Between mother and son, why is there so little trust? Is this the collapse of morality or the distortion of human nature? Just as I was silently grieving, Emma's voice came through the phone. Sean, is Auntie giving you trouble again? How can she be so inconsiderate? I gritted my teeth. That homewrecker Emma was stirring the pot again. The main reason Sean protected Emily was his childhood friendship with Emma. 8-year-old Sean had been smitten with Emma after meeting her and her mother. Like father, like son, one obsessed with the mother, the other with the daughter. I couldn't help asking, Sean, weren't you in a meeting? Why is Emma there? Before Sean could answer, Emma's frail voice trembled. Sean, my heart hurts so bad. Sean's panicked shout, Emma, was cut off by the dial tone. My subsequent calls went unanswered. Staring at two naked bodies in the car, I howled at the sky in despair. What should I do? The staff were all at the butler's son's wedding. Only I remained at the estate, a pampered socialite expected to perform rescue work. When life closes doors, it opens windows. I knocked on neighbor Anna's door. As fellow suburban wives who exchanged holiday casseroles, she'd surely help discreetly. The popular lifestyle blogger immediately grabbed her phone upon seeing the nude couple. Holy shit. Laura. Why save them? Let nature take its course. Tears streamed down my face. Victor's my husband. However unfaithful. Our son doesn't believe me. I'm at my wit's end. Anna snapped multiple angles of Victor and Emily's pink flesh. At my questioning look, she chuckled awkwardly, occupational reflex. Don't worry. These won't leak. Nodding anxiously, I urged the ER. Carbon monoxide poisoning has 4 to 6 hour window. Anna floored it to Lewis General Hospital. As medics prepared stretchers, I realized our oversight, hastily covering Victor's head with lacy underwear and Emily's face with boxer briefs. There. Dignity preserved. I sighed in relief. At least we'd shielded both their reputations and his precious first love's honor. My duty was done. The couple entered ER looking like avant-garde art installation, drawing every stare. Anna snorted like a rooster. My withering glance made her swallow laughter. Sorry, Laura. She mumbled. Nervous habit. We waited silently until a doctor rushed out. Family of patients? Yes. Did they die? I clutched my pearls. The physician frowned. Critical condition. Multiple cardiac arrests from delayed treatment. Both developed cerebral herniation requiring emergency craniotomy. My world collapsed again, as befits a delicate flower unaccustomed to adversity. Sobbing hysterically, I begged, Doctor, you must save them. At this point, I couldn't care less about saving face. I revealed Victor's identity. The man lying there is Victor Lewis, chairman of your hospital's board. Get me the best surgeon, spare no expense to save him. The doctor looked uneasy. All our top specialists were summoned by Sean for an emergency consultation. We can't perform brain surgery today. My head spun. What? Apparently Sean's fiancée had a cardiac episode. He's in hysterics and pulled every specialist. Trembling, I dialed Sean's number. No answer. Again. Tears blurred my vision as I begged the doctor. Where's the consultation? VIP floor. But you can't get in, it's swarming with security. Not even a fly could slip through. I bolted for the elevator with Anna close behind. True enough. Black-clad guards blocked us the moment the doors opened. Restricted area. I'm Victor's wife. Sean's mother. The stone-faced guard snorted. No exceptions. Anna nudged me. Show them your photos with Sean. I frantically scrolled through my phone. Cold sweat dripping. There were none. Sean had always hated taking pictures with me. Mom. He'd sneered. Must you act like some vapid socialite? Yet I'd later found albums full of him smiling with Victor and Emily. My heart constricted. New phone, no photos. I lied hoarsely. The tallest guard smirked. First woman claiming to be the boss's mom. Creative hustle. Granny. Can't even fake proof properly. The female guard jeered. Tears spilled as I showed Sean's WeChat, blank from mutual blocking. The guards roared. Any auntie can rename a burner account. Quit the CEO novel fantasies and scram. Panic surged. My husband was dying. I shoved past them. Only to be yanked back. Damn it. Breach this and we're fired. Anna brandished her phone. Back off. I'm live streaming to 1 million followers. The hesitation gave us our chance. We sprinted past. Guards hot on our heels. Until we burst into the consultation room. There sat Sean. Impeccably tailored. Holding court among white coats. My tears fell freely. All the fear and anxiety I had bottled up all day came pouring out the moment I saw him. I lunged at Sean, gripping his hands desperately. Sean. Hurry! Come with me now. Sean frowned instinctively upon seeing me. What the hell are all these bodyguards at the door doing? The bodyguards broke into cold sweats. Bowing in unison. Apologies. Mr. Lewis. This lunatic claimed to be your biological mother and forced her way in. We'll remove her immediately. We suspect she's escaped from the psychiatric ward. Sean's brows furrowed deeper. Storm clouds gathering. What did you just say? Trembling bodyguards rushed to drag me away. I kicked Sean hard in frustration. You ungrateful brat. Get on your knees. I rarely lost my temper. When I did, Victor would calm me with money transfers. While Sean had his own unique way of apologizing, kneeling. Sean's jaw clenched as emotions warred across his face. Finally, he sank to his knees. Mother, please calm down. The bodyguards gaped. Knees knocking. Mr. Lewis, she's actually your mother? The real Mrs. Lewis? We're finished, our careers are over. Get out! Sean roared. We'll settle this later. I grabbed his arm urgently. Send doctors to save your father. He's truly dying. Enough. Sean massaged his temples exhaustedly. Emma's having a cardiac crisis. For once in your life. Stop making trouble. I know you hate her. But this is life or death. My tears welled up. Is Emma's life more precious than your father's? Can't you spare even a few doctors for Victor? Suddenly, Emma appeared in her hospital gown. Lips bloodless. Embodying fragile beauty. Sean's eyes softened as he rushed to support her. You should be resting. Emma smiled like a delicate gardenia. I heard commotion, her gaze met mine. Tears spilling like pearls. Aunt Anna. Please don't blame Sean. My weak constitution causes all this trouble. I stared dumbfounded. This girl could cry on command better than me? Emma! I seized her hands gravely. Your mother's dying too. Emma clutched her chest dramatically. Why must you hate us so? My mother and Mr. Lewis are just friends. She collapsed weeping into Sean's arms. Enough! Sean glared at me while cradling her. Can't you see you're breaking her heart? His words cut deep. You wish Emily was your mother? Because she folded paper airplanes and made dumplings? Did I not taste test every dish to protect your sensitive stomach? This, I touched my own abdomen bitterly, cost me my health. Sean's voice turned icy. At least Emily cared enough to try. You were never a real mother. Tears spilled as I laughed brokenly. You want Emily as your mother? Then you and Emma would be siblings. What's next? Some twisted incest fantasy. Victor's face darkened like a storm cloud. This is utter nonsense. A doctor hesitantly stepped forward. Sean, perhaps I should go check. Others chimed in, the truth would be obvious if we investigate. If Mrs. Lewis is lying, we'll return quickly. Sean's voice boomed with authority. No one moves. This emergency meeting continues. Any disobedience means immediate termination and permanent blacklisting from all medical institutions in Silicon Valley. The consultation room fell deathly silent until my phone rang. Answering mechanically, I heard Anna's somber voice, they're gone. Stop looking for doctors. My phone shattered on the floor. I screamed at Sean through tears, you killed your father. How could I raise such a heartless monster? I disown you. Sean faltered, reaching toward me just as Emma dramatically collapsed. Returning to my hospital room, Anna embraced me. Stay strong. The funeral arrangements, I forced a smile. I'll manage Victor's affairs. She glanced behind me angrily. Your son still doubts you? Unforgivable. I remained silent. What's the use of sons when they're more useless than burnt toast? I should reclaim the kidney I donated him. Contacting Victor's secretary, I ordered the obituary. He protested, Madam, we're caught in your family feud. Victor booked tickets to Colorado himself. He's probably off-grid in the mountains right now. Sean knew this. So the whole world knew Victor and Emily were having their affair in Colorado while I played the fool. Turning to Anna, I instructed, leak this scandal. Tank Lewis corpse stock. Fund your media project. Anna's eyes lit up. Breaking news incoming. She began making calls as I approached Victor's corpse. Pulling back the shroud, I whispered through tears, don't worry, darling. I'll make Sean and Emma pay. Rest with your precious mistress. The funeral director spared no expense. Lavish flowers. Celebrity guests. Front page coverage. How ironic that a man who lived in luxury now fits in a $10,000 urn. Meanwhile, the scandals of Victor and Sean exploded across media platforms, dominating trending lists for days. Hashtags like hashtag Lewis family CEO _ car sex scandal and hashtag hypocritical son kills father trended relentlessly. Throughout the entire ordeal, Sean never attended his father's funeral nor showed up at corporate offices. Rumors swirled that Emma feared surgical anesthesia. To prove his devotion, Sean allegedly injected himself with double doses daily for a week to share her pain. The internet roasted the couple as unhinged lunatics. Amidst the leadership vacuum, I stepped forward to stabilize operations. What the Lewis men never realized, my frequent international trips weren't vacations, but efforts to build my own tech empire overseas. When I first considered entrepreneurship, my father encouraged me, sweetheart, while Victor was our safe harbor pick. Ultimately, you can only rely on yourself. Houses crumble and people flee. Your ambition makes me proud. Your mother and I won't be around forever. Take risks now while we can still back you up. Fueled by his words, I quietly built a cutting-edge tech firm. As my company grew, so did my strategic acumen, all hidden from the Lewises. Those silver-spooned heirs strutted like corporate royalty, oblivious to how business empires are truly forged. Working with Anna, we orchestrated a masterful PR shift. Public focus transitioned from corporate scandals to my philanthropic legacy, university endowments. Decades of student scholarships. Humble librarian work. Former scholarship recipients, now Lewis Group executives, rallied behind me. Half the board members owed their careers to my father's original empire. Public sentiment surged in my favor. Social media crowned me the 60-year-old Iron Lady, betrayed by husband and son, yet triumphing through sheer grit. Viral comments exploded, the ultimate alpha female. This is how real women lead. Emily outshines those trashy men in both brains and beauty. Her charity work alone earns my lifelong respect. Stock prices skyrocketed as I assumed control. By the time Sean regained his senses, the game was over. The helpless society wife they'd underestimated now ruled their crumbling kingdom. During a critical board meeting, a disheveled Sean barged in screaming, "Mom, this is all fake, right? Dad's alive, right?" I surveyed his stained suit and unkempt beard. He resembled a subway panhandler. Reality check, I stated coldly. My assistant promptly projected news footage, me sobbing desperately for medical help versus Sean's icy fire anyone who intervenes declaration. The contrast painted him as heartless scum. Board elders unleashed pent-up fury, brain-dead idiot. She's your mother. Like father. Like son, both puppets to floozies. Where were you when your father was dying? Now you play grieving heir? Sean staggered backward, clawing at his hair. Lies. All lies. His pathetic denial proved the apple didn't fall far from Victor's rotten tree. I had my assistant hand him a document containing evidence that Emma Sullivan had faked heart disease and bribed doctors. While Emma did have a minor cardiac condition nowhere near life-threatening, Sean Lewis had always coddled her excessively because of it. Her act as a fragile beauty worked like magic. Emboldened by this advantage, Emma solidified her persona by bribing every physician at Lewis Group's affiliated hospital using her status as the future Mrs. Lewis. The entire medical staff colluded in her charade, with only gullible Sean remaining clueless. This time, Emma hadn't undergone any heart surgery at all. She'd monopolized medical resources purely to undermine me, acting like she was at death's door. To summarize, Victor Lewis and Emily Sullivan met their ends because of their devoted children. This ironclad evidence dealt Sean a crushing blow. He turned ghostly pale, collapsing like a deflated puppet as if his soul had been vacuumed out. Looking down at him, I delivered the final blow. Your father wasn't meant to die yet. You signed his death warrant yourself. Sean suddenly roared, charging out like a madman. That evening during dinner with Anna Foster, she glanced at her phone and gasped. The screen showed Sean trending at #1 again. The viral video depicted Emma's corpse, dozens of stab wounds, kneeling shirtless with hands bound behind her back at Victor's gravesite in a posture of repentance. Sean, blood-soaked and surrounded by police cars, got handcuffed while reporters shouted questions. Facing the cameras, he declared, "Tell Ma I ain't no coward." Comments flooded in frowny face. Holy guacamole. Is Sean doing performance art? OMG, he's completely unhinged. LOL. Homewrecker's daughter got what she deserved. Perfect ending, all trash taken out. Now CEO Cold can rule unimpeded. I sighed. With everyone dead or jailed, I'm left alone as the elegant heiress to billions. Life's so lonely. So terribly lonely. Sean got life without parole. I never visited, too busy reinventing myself at 60. Prime age for new ventures. Renaming the conglomerate Frost Enterprises. I worked tirelessly, skyrocketing profits that silenced all doubters. Between board meetings, I dated enthusiastically, trying out everything from sweet younger boyfriends to dominant alpha types. Each time, I'd light incense for Victor and chat, "Darling, this one's got stamina unlike your weak self. Sweetheart, I avoid anyone resembling you." Nightmares. You know? The nightmares came anyway. Victor appeared livid in a dream, demanding I stop the antics. He threatened to wait at the river Styx for our next lifetime together. Terrified, I hired a Taoist priest to exorcise him. The priest said he'd reincarnate. I sighed. With Sean in jail for life and everyone else gone, I'm the sole heiress to billions. Life's so lonely. So terribly lonely. I worked tirelessly at Frost Enterprises, skyrocketing profits that silenced all doubters. Between board meetings, I dated enthusiastically. Each time, I'd light incense for Victor and chat, darling. This one's got stamina unlike your weak self. Sweetheart. I avoid anyone resembling you, nightmares. You know? The nightmares came anyway. Victor appeared livid in a dream, demanding I stop the antics. He threatened to wait at the river Styx for our next lifetime together. Terrified, I hired a Taoist priest to exorcise him. The priest said he'd reincarnate. I continued to work and date, living my life to the fullest as the elegant heiress to billions. Being an animal is so great, carefree and without a worry. Unlike being human with all those troubles. Take my biggest problem. For example, I'm sitting on $1 billion fortune all by myself. How am I supposed to spend it all?